Hi, welcome everyone. In today's video, I'm going to tell you how to visualize a graph for an equation in which you have a quadratic function and a moderator to the quadratic function. So, in other words, it means that you have a baseline quadratic function model, which can be a U-shaped function or an inverted U-shaped function, and you are trying to find that if a moderator can shift the U-shaped curve or the inverted U-shaped curve. So the example equation is shown here that you can see that independent variable and its square, then one moderator and it's a cross product with the independent variable and cross product with independent variable square. So alpha 2 and alpha 3 will give us idea of the shape of the quadratic curve. Alpha 4 will be the intercept of the quadratic curve, how where it starts, and alpha 5 will tell us how this moderator CUL will change the initial shape of the curve, or in other words how it will change alpha 2, and then alpha 6 will tell us how it will change the second portion of the curve. It can be decreasing in the case of inverted U shape, so how CUL will change alpha 3. So this is the equation. So this way, if you have estimated this equation, then I will tell you how to estimate, how to plot the results. So after estimating the model, following are my results. I have coefficient of first variable, coefficient of its square, coefficient of the moderator, coefficient of moderator into the independent variable, coefficient of moderator into independent variable square. So once I have this data, what I can do is I can plot it on a graph using a template that is available on the following website. If you open this website, jeremydawson.co.uk/slopes.htm, on this website, you have several templates available which you can use to plot graphs. In my previous video, I've used the template of quadratic regression to show how to plot a quadratic graph or a quadratic function. But in this example, I have a quadratic function and a moderator. So for that, I have to use this quadratic two-way interaction. So it's a plotting curvilinear interaction between quadratic term effect and a moderator. So when you click this, it will download an Excel file, and I will show you that Excel file here. So this will be the template, and when I show it on the Word file simultaneously, now we can plot by putting the values. So my independent variable is LGNI, my moderator is CUL, and the independent variable value is minus 46.21, and square variable is 0.88. Moderator value is minus 15.62. I'm putting this first column only because others are some other models. And then I have a moderator interest of 1.21 and minus 0.02. This way I have some values. Then I need to put intercept. In this model, I didn't have an intercept, so I will put it 0. If you don't have this variable, suppose in your model you are not including this portion of the moderator, you are only looking at the first moderator rather than full moderator. So you can put 0 here because you didn't use this variable. Or some people also don't include the this variable because they want to assume that there is no change in intercept, so you can put moderator also 0. So you will assume that it is 0. Next, you need to give some initial values for the data to be plotted. So for that, I will show you how to fill it. So for that, you need to get the mean value of the independent variable. This is 25.00, and its standard deviation is also given 2.01. The moderator variable that I used is this one. So its mean value is 44.36, and its standard deviation is 23.14. When I add all the values, you can maximize the graph. Now the issue is that graph is not showing here. So first thing you need to know is the background calculations are shown here. If I color it red, you will see the background calculations. Now I notice is that the values numbers are big and the scale is small. That's why graph is not showing here. So the thing that you can use is you can double click the y-axis. It will show you the format axis option. You can press the reset buttons and then adjust the scale. So it is starting from 0. I can do it -5, -400. So this way graph is now showing clearly. Okay, then you can add the dependent variable name, that is gain. Okay, and move it little bit outward so that it is viewable. Then you can add titles if you want. If you go here, add a title on the top. Similarly, you can move the legend wherever you want. So you can go here and move the legend on the bottom, and then increase the width of the graph and add the title that you want to add. The second problem is that the y-axis, x-axis values are showing in between the graph. You can also edit it by double clicking here, format axis options. You can come down and you can see here is the horizontal axis crosses. So I can specify some specific value that can be -580 so that y-axis comes down. This way you have plotted the graph, and you can zoom it in again by changing these numbers. I can change it to maximum, so it can be 420. It is more increased, and you can here add 75. Okay, so this way more details. So in this graph the bending is not visible but the shifting is shown. So this way you can plot the quadratic functions with moderators. So hope you understood the how to make a graph. The major issue that people faced was that how to see the graph. They were not able to adjust the scales. That's why the graph was not showing. Another thing to note is when you copy it in your Word file, make sure you copy it as a picture. Otherwise, if you change it here, it will also change it in the Word file. Or if you want to make another graph, then make sure that you use some other Excel file, not this one. So if you want to fix it, then when you copy it, when you go into the Word file, then you should make sure that it should be pasted special as a click it here. You have to paste it as a picture so that it will not be changed even if the Excel file is changing. And you can add the title, and if you click the graph, you can also change the designs if you want. But you can change the colors of the lines by clicking here and go in format and change the colors. So anything that you can do, it's editable here, but if you paste it as a picture, then it will be fixed. uh, One disadvantage of pasting at a picture is that you cannot increase the quality of the picture anymore. Its pixel density will be fixed. But if you paste it as it is, then the advantage is that you can increase the font size anytime if you want to make it bigger. Like you can click it here and you want to increase the font size like this so that the bigger graph is readable. So for that, the challenge is that if you want to make two of these graphs, then you should keep them separate. This means that you save this template file separately for both graphs rather than making both of them from same file. I hope you understood the challenges in making this graph, and you will be using it in your models and making your estimates more likable, more visualizable, and understandable for the readers. Thank you.